What is up? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the first fall vlog of the season. For me, September, October, November, that is fall. It is officially into September now, and I'm ready to start making the switch over to fall things. I've been kind of holding off, but now that we're into September, I'm ready. I'm ready for some pumpkin stuff. I'm ready to put out my fall decorations. I really want to use this vlog and use this weekend to get in the fall spirit. We're gonna be doing lots of fall stuff, decorating, baking, reading, being cozy. It's actually a little bit warm out today. It's like in the 80s, so that does make it a little bit difficult to get into the fall spirit, you know, but we're gonna be doing it anyway. We're gonna be doing our best. Lots of fall things, few days in my life, taking you guys through the weekend with me. I am very quickly making myself a morning coffee. I do have to work today, of course, and I'm running a little bit behind schedule this morning because I wanted to get up extra early to get my sourdough loaf baking, but that just did not happen. So I really need to speed things up right now. We're really gonna be starting this fall vlog off with a bang because I'm gonna start by making a pumpkin sourdough loaf. Sourdough is all about timing, and I really have no choice but to get it mixed up right now if I want to bake it tomorrow. We're just gonna get right into the fall vibes. I'm gonna make my first pumpkin baked item of the season with a pumpkin sourdough with a cinnamon sugar swirl in the middle. I'll leave the recipe that I'm taking inspiration from down below. I do think I'm gonna change a few things, but for the most part, that will be the recipe that I'm following. I guess we can bring out the fall glassware. I haven't been using it, but how cute is this straw with the ghosts on it? Adorable. This feels so strange to me to be like doing all the fall things already, but I mean, it's time. Starting off with active starter. I did 125 grams, 240 grams filtered water. If I get too much water, I just take the cap and pull some out. Okay, now we're adding in 25 grams of pure maple syrup. And the star of the show, we are adding in 200 grams of pumpkin. Let's give this a good mix so that it gets nice and incorporated. Now we're adding in 500 grams of bread flour and 12 grams of salt. Let's get it mixed together. Covering with a damp tea towel, and we're gonna let it sit for 30 minutes before we start our stretch and folds. I let it sit for 30 minutes, and now we're gonna start our stretch and folds. My favorite part about making sourdough is handling the dough, either the stretch and folds or especially when you like get it out on the counter and shape it. I just feel like it like brings out your inner child in a way because it feels like you're playing with Play-Doh or something. It's just really satisfying and it feels so good on your hands. Let's do some stretch and folds. Here's what she's looking like. I just wet my hands so that the dough doesn't stick to my fingers. And we're gonna do our first set of stretch and folds. Stretch and folds are exactly what they sound like. You just grab one end of the dough, stretch it up, drop it back down, rotate the bowl, and do it again. And you're gonna do this 4 times. And then you let it rest for another 30 minutes. And then you do it again. And you'll do that 4 times. Stretch and folds help with the gluten formation in the bread. You can really manhandle your dough though. Honestly, the more you kind of touch and play with it, the better in this stage. Now that my hands are nice and dirty, we're gonna put this back on, let it rest 30 minutes. And we'll be back for the second set of stretch and folds. Stretch and folds round 2. Same thing as before. Okay, I can tell it's getting more stretchy, so that's good. 2, 3, 4. Do a couple center folds, which is where I just grab it in the center and pull it up. All right. I will see you in 30 minutes for round 3. And I will see you in 30 minutes for round 4. Okay, final round of stretch and fold. Always take your rings off because you do not want sourdough caked rings. And you guys know the drill. Okay, now it just sits on the counter. This is the easiest part. It literally just sits here it really depends on the temperature in your apartment or your house. It really depends on your starter. It depends on a lot of stuff, but you want the dough to double in size, be a little bit jiggly, a little bit bubbly on the top. So I'm gonna let it sit anywhere between like 5 and 10 hours. Just depends. I'm gonna watch it, but all it's got to do now is sit here. Okay, let's do some fall decorating. This is all my fall decorations. I'm really big on buying a couple pieces every single year, and then eventually I'll have a nice big collection for all the holidays that I like to decorate for. But I will say my fall collection is not that big. But that's okay. It's one step at a time. I can't really go out and spend like $300-400 on decorations every year. So, you know, $50 here and there, and then eventually we will have a nice big collection. I am hoping to go to the store tomorrow and maybe grab a few more things, but first thing is to put out what I have to kind of see where the gaps are, you know, what stuff I need. This pillow, I believe, is TJ Maxx. I'm gonna put it here in the guest room. I spend way more time in this guest room because it's also my office than most of the rooms in the house, honestly. So I definitely wanna have some fall stuff in here to get me in the spirit. I always say house, but you guys know what I mean. So, and I think it goes perfectly right there anyway. I'm gonna switch out the greenery here. I love that. Much more fall inspired. A big one for me is switching out these moss balls. Switching out these white candlesticks for a darker one. I feel like it's more fall vibes. Switching out this candle for my first fall candle of the season. Autumn Glow Amber from At Home. Last thing I have is to switch out this spring soap for this pumpkin soap. Okay, I know I try to be pretty subtle with most of my decorating, but I definitely have less stuff than I thought I had. For some reason, I thought I had like pumpkins to put out, but now that I really think about it, I guess I didn't, obviously, because I didn't have any of it. I really only had a few things for fall to set out, which means we have room for growth. So I'm definitely tomorrow probably gonna go try to find some more stuff that I can set out. I wouldn't mind some like pumpkins, glass pumpkins. We need to do some Pinterest scrolling, get some inspiration, and pick up a few things this weekend for a little bit more decorating. Plan for the evening. I'm gonna be relaxing at home. Who is surprised? Not even me. We are going to walk to the grocery store, grab some ingredients to make ourselves a nice cozy dinner. I was originally planning to make chili, but I realized I just had chili like maybe 2 weeks ago. So I'm kind of over chili. Instead, I'm gonna do like a beef orzo dinner. Then we're just gonna relax. I might start a fall book. I definitely want to talk to you guys about my fall TBR. Been doing some research on what books I want to read this season. I promise this vlog is not gonna be all cooking. There definitely is gonna be a lot of cooking, but it's not gonna be all cooking. We do have some plans. We're going to the apple orchard on Sunday. That will be fun and very fall. Sometimes I feel bad when I cook too much in my vlogs, but honestly, it's just one of those things that genuinely brings me joy. It's like an activity that I can do without breaking the bank, you know? It's like healthier, it's good for your wallet to cook at home. I enjoy it in general. I'm definitely not a cooking channel, but it's definitely just something that I enjoy, and I hope you guys maybe get some meal. I can't say that word. Meal? Is it meal or mill? I hope you guys get some meal inspiration. I think that sounds right. Some meal inspiration from me. This one tonight is definitely going to be a good one. I think everyone who vlogs very regularly and lives a normal life feels like their vlogs are boring. I think it's a very common trend. I hear other people that I watch talk about it, but I just think that's what people find comfort in. That's what I love to watch. So I always just have to remind myself, like, people probably enjoy seeing you chilling at home every Friday night, cooking yourself a dinner. And I just try to remind myself of that. And with that, I'm going to walk over to the grocery store, grab a few ingredients, and then we'll come back and make some dinner. And we need to finish up my pumpkin sourdough here in a couple hours. feel like this is a really good balance of carbs and protein and vegetables with the spinach. I'm just gonna top it with a little chunk of feta cheese. And by a little chunk, I mean a giant chunk. I'm gonna relax on the couch, do a little Pinterest scrolling. I almost forgot about my beautiful sourdough. It has definitely doubled. It's really jiggly. Time for the fun part, dumping it out, shaping it, adding in our inclusions. I'm gonna start by dusting my counter with some flour, and let's hope she comes out on her own. Come on, baby. She's just taking her sweet time. Oh, here she comes. Yeah. Wow. Now we're gonna get her into a nice rectangle. Feels pretty good, not too sticky. Don't be afraid of flour during this. You're gonna need a pretty good amount to keep it from sticking too much. Once you have it in a nice rectangle, we're gonna add our inclusions. I'm doing a cinnamon swirl. I'm gonna be doing cinnamon sugar and some pumpkin pie spice. You're really gonna wanna layer this on, so I'm gonna open this up so we can really pile it on. The more the merrier, truly. And then a little bit of pumpkin pie spice. I'm definitely doing more cinnamon sugar, but a little bit of this. Now we fold it in. Let's do this way first. I'm gonna do a little bit more of my spices. And then this way. A little bit more. Pumpkin pie spice. I think this should be enough, so now we're just gonna roll it up. Really try to pinch those ends. Stunning. I'm gonna flour my surface again, and then we're gonna do our rolls. I don't really know what this is actually called, but it's like a candy cane shape. Up, and then back towards you. Up, back towards you. This is to create some surface tension on the dough. Okay, it's ripping over here. Ah! Oh God, it's ripping like crazy over here, you guys. So the cinnamon sugar is out to play now. That's okay. Oh, it busted. Look at that. Dang, that's concerning. But one thing about sourdough, it's pretty resilient. I'm not loving this. I'm not loving that the cinnamon sugar is like fully on the outside right now, but we're just gonna keep going and hope for the best. I'm gonna let this sit for about 30 minutes and then we'll do one last shaping. It might be only 7:40 p.m., but I'm so ready for bed, I cannot even lie. I want to get in the shower, I wanna wrap this up. It does smell incredible though. That pumpkin pie spice, I can really smell it. Let's flip her over. Oh, this is a little scary. I've never had a loaf this wet before. I guess all the sugar kind of melted. It's very, very wet. So we're gonna have to see how this goes. What can we do about it? Nothing. We're just gonna keep going like it's a normal loaf. So what I would do is stretch it back out a little bit and then fold in these corners like so. Oh, wow. This is craziness. Try to pinch that in so it all stays in, you know? Okay, let's flip it back over and do some more candy canes. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit better about it. Flip it into your basket so that the seam is at the top. I have these shower caps, but you can use a tea towel if that's all you have. We're covering it, going in the fridge overnight, and we will have to bake it up tomorrow. I'm so excited to see how this turns out. morning. We just got back from a nice long walk. We probably walked for an hour through one of our favorite neighborhoods. I feel like it's just a dream neighborhood. It's suburban feeling, but you're within like a 10-minute walk to kind of the middle of the city. Walked around there for a little bit and went and grabbed my first fall seasonal latte of the season. I went to Not Just Coffee and got their fall spice latte. They didn't have one that was specifically pumpkin, but the fall spice, it was very subtle, which is probably good for it being the very beginning of fall. It was a very subtle kind of cinnamon tasting latte, but first official seasonal latte. Now we're just gonna go do a little bit of shopping. I gave myself a $50 budget. I really want, I think, glass or patterned or something pumpkins to set around here. That's kind of my main goal. I also would love a fall mug. I don't have any like fall glassware, and you guys know I pretty much make myself a drink every single morning, and I feel like it would be nice and festive to have out of a fall mug. So that's the plan. We're gonna bounce around, go look at some stuff. I did wake up this morning to 20,000 subscribers, which is insane. Part of the reason we went and got some celebratory lattes. I remember when I started my channel, 10,000 subscribers was like my ultimate goal. And I thought, you know, when I reached that, like, that's it. I've made it. Yeah, so literally every single subscriber over that is just unbelievable and very exciting. So I appreciate you guys subscribing and sticking around and commenting. I always love reading all the comments. So yeah, I just want to say thank you for 20,000 subscribers. We had a little celebration this morning, and it just automatically has to be a good day now since that's what I woke up to. We are back. We've had a fun day so far, but we're just about to chill the rest of the day. I want to get my loaf baked up. I'm excited to see how it turned out. I'm gonna put some flour on some parchment paper, and then we're just gonna dump it out. It looks good to me, but we'll have to see. Sprinkle some flour on top. I keep my scores pretty simple, but we're gonna go a deep one right down the middle. And then some little lines. You gotta do a little bit of decoration. You can see that cinnamon like squishing out. I preheated my Dutch oven at 450 degrees for about 30 minutes. Now we're just dropping in our loaf, and we're gonna start by baking with the lid on for 30 minutes. It's been 30 minutes. Let's check on it. It smells so good. I'm gonna take the lid off and we're gonna bake it for another 15 minutes so that it gets nice and brown on the top. It's time to take the loaf out and see how it looks. I'm really happy with how it looks. There she is on the side. I feel like she's pretty fluffy. I think it looks pretty good. While I wait for that loaf to cool, it has to cool for an hour, thought I could set out some of the new fall decorations that we got. Kitchen towels, I feel like they're such an easy way to pull in all the holidays. Just got this cute one, came with an orange one. I'm gonna set this out on the oven. I know I said I wanted a fall mug. Got this cute one with pumpkins from Home Goods, I believe this was. So when I start making my hot lattes, I'll have something to drink it out of. One thing I hate about TJ Maxx and Home Goods is these stickers. Why do they stick them? Like, couldn't they have put it on the bottom or something? Why do they stick them on the worst places? And they're like the stickiest stickers on this earth. They're so hard to get off. I'm probably gonna break a nail getting some of these stickers off. I got a couple cute pumpkins to set around. This cream one with their sticks coming out the top, and then this pretty glass one. I think this one goes perfect right there. Is that too big for right there, or should the glass one go there?
I think you just turned off the game and showed you now we're watching.
I did, because one time I got copyrighted for having a football game in the back of my vlog. Okay, so this is option one for the glass pumpkin. Option two. Putting the other pumpkin that I got right here. Just little touches. And then for in the kitchen, I was thinking I could do something with this centerpiece, something different than I normally do. I usually like to have fresh flowers, but if you know, you know, I have fresh flower phobia ever since swallowing a spider. Or I didn't swallow it, spitting out the spider. So we're gonna move to faux flowers now. I got this cute pumpkin jar. I need to put I don't know, candy in it or something. You can see it has leaves on it. It's super cute. So I thought I could put this here. And I have a few vase options. I have this one. Might be too big. I will cut these down, of course. But that looks insane. I have this black vase. I don't know. This one is much smaller, but I feel like it blends in with the pumpkin jar too much. Like they just look like twin jars. I'm kind of leaning towards the black one. Usually we'll just fold these rather than cutting them because you never know when you're gonna need the length. So if I can, I just fold the bottoms. I think I'm gonna leave it like this for now, but I will accept feedback. Maybe I should get rid of this. Everything I see on Pinterest, they have these huge vases in the middle of the island with the big tall stems. And I do think it looks good from far away, but you guys tell me. I think it's cute, but I'm not the best interior decorator. And I love the pumpkin towel back there. That's very cute. It is feeling so fall in here. So I did blow my $50 shopping budget. So I got a $50 shopping budget and then Will got a $50 shopping budget. And then he decided to donate me his $50 shopping budget. Last thing I got, some pillows to bring in some color. I do decorate very, very neutral. I would say I tend to lean towards neutral things. And I think you could argue this is still very neutral. But I just find it hard with our kitchen being blue. I just feel like it's such a big pop of color that any other color, it starts to look too much for me. Because I do like the neutral stuff. But I think orange is fine. And it brings in the fall. So got 2 of these, put them on these chairs here. I feel like when you're decorating for fall, there's many different ways you could go. I don't like to decorate for Halloween just because the stuff I'm gonna buy, I want to be able to leave it out September, October, November. And I feel like if I get a bunch of spooky ghost stuff, I can't really leave that out in November. I'm sure you can, but I don't know. To me, I feel like that's for Halloween, for October. And then in November, I'd have to put it away. So I definitely tend to lean more towards the pumpkins and like the fall festive decorations more so than the spooky Halloween decorations. I did see a lot of really cute ghosts and black cats and stuff that I wanted to grab, but I didn't. I stayed with the pumpkin theme. Put it right here. Very cute. It's been an hour. It's time for the moment of truth. Let's cut into it and see how we really did. That looks so good. Wow. This might be the fluffiest loaf I've ever made. I am so happy with this loaf. You never really know how they're going to turn out because it's kind of all a guessing game with timing and everything, but that cinnamon swirl in there, this will be perfect in the mornings because it's a little sweet, so like a little sweet breakfast. Toasted with some butter. I always love the crumb shot when people like squish it. I'm so happy with this. This is crazy. You want to come try it on camera so you can be my unbiased review?
Yeah, absolutely. No bias whatsoever. It smells really good. Yeah, it's like more moist than anything else. Is there pumpkin filling in it? Mm-hmm. So where a lot of that moisture comes from.
It's like you mix pumpkin into the dough, and then when you're rolling the dough out, you add cinnamon sugar, like, see how it's like swirled in? And a little bit of pumpkin spice seasoning.
Yeah, you can tell that.
Like the pumpkin's subtle.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Well,
really,
probably more cinnamon than pumpkin.
yeah, it's really the seasonings that come through more than the actual pumpkin puree, I would say. I still need to finish getting ready, but here's my fit for apple picking. I threw over this big, oversized sweater from Quince, and then I'm just wearing this white top from Amazon. I got this skirt and these boots actually from different boutiques. This was in Tampa. These were a long time ago. I got these boots in high school and they're still in pretty good condition. I don't love the pattern on them. They're kind of very, very rustic, but they still work when I need them. So here is the outfit. We're headed to the apple orchard here in a minute. I just need to finish my hair. We had to stop at the bank because this place is cash only. We're about 5 minutes from the place. I'm excited. We're gonna have so many apples because we both get a big bag of them to pick. Drop your favorite apple recipes. I know I could do a sourdough, but I kind of want to bake something else. Maybe like an apple pie, an apple strudel. We're gonna have so many apples.
The leaves are turning brown. Red and yellow, soon they'll be falling down. Now, I'm not ready, not just yet.
I'm scared. I feel like there's snakes in here.
Snakes.
Why are there so many bugs? I'm freaked out.
Because of the ones that are on the ground.
I think this one is not rotting.
It looks alright.
Yeah?
Looks alright, yeah.
Okay. In the bag. Most of them have been rotten, but we got one. Ah! Fuck. And there's bugs. We found one tree that's not rotten.
You gotta get high or the little kids can't get them.
Okay, we got 2 big bags of apples. We were unsure at first if we were going to be able to get any at all because there's a lot of rotten apples. But the trick is go where no one else really goes, like the really high ones. So Will could reach the high apples. And then like on this outer side, I guess no one really comes over here. Everyone goes in the orchard. So we found the best apples of the day over here. We did it! That was super fun. And they have these delicious apple cider donuts. I kind of wish we got more than one.
Yeah, me too. I did not know they were that good.
They're so good. We just got one to try, but I wish we got a half dozen. Right now for my apple baked goods, I'm thinking an apple strudel and then some kind of apple butter or apple jam or something that I can put in a jar and have to spread on my sourdough. I'm leaning towards an apple butter, I think. We're back in the kitchen. I have a bunch of leftover pumpkin puree from that pumpkin loaf. So I think I want to make some coffee syrup. I'm gonna make pumpkin syrup for my coffee since I have half this can left and I want to put it to good use. Okay, so in my pot, I just put a half cup of white sugar and then I'm gonna do a half cup of brown sugar. I'm gonna do a half cup of the pumpkin puree. And then I added in 1 cup of water. Let's give it a good mix. Now I'm just whisking it over medium heat. And you just wanna do this until all the sugar crystals completely melt. Making syrup is so easy. I honestly don't know why I've never done it before. You can do it obviously with any fruit, anything that you have. I know a lot of people make banana bread. I feel like that would be great, banana syrup. Yeah, really all you need is sugar and whatever fruit or addition that you have on hand. I just poured it into this bowl so that it could cool off a little bit quicker. I'm adding in these 3 seasonings, but you can add in whatever you want. So I've got some cinnamon, pumpkin pie spice, and this bourbon vanilla bean paste from Trader Joe's. I love cinnamon, so I'm doing a pretty good amount of that one. Just a couple splashes of pumpkin pie. And I'm gonna do a pretty healthy serving of this vanilla bean paste. Like that much maybe. Give it a good stir. It's so good.
Yeah, that's crazy good.
I just tried it. It's so good. I just want to eat it like that. I just washed all the apples. Here's everything we brought back. Excited to bake with these next week. I'm gonna film a work week in my life next week, so possibly we'll see that then, depending when I actually get around to baking these. And then here's the final pumpkin syrup. I think I'm gonna keep this in the fridge. I wasn't really sure the best way to store it, but I think the refrigerator. I have this really cute pump bottle that I might move the syrup into, but first I want to see if it stays liquidy or not. I'm not sure if it's gonna actually stay this nice liquid consistency. So yeah, here's the final. Excited to make a coffee with that tomorrow morning. I am officially in the fall spirit. I feel so good with the place decorated. I lit the first fall candle of the season. The apartment smells so good between the candle and the pumpkin syrup. We've had football on all day. It really feels like fall. I like football for the vibes that it brings, for the coziness, for the comfort. I don't really actually care about who wins, but with football going on, that means it's the perfect time for me to do some reading, cozy up on the couch. So I thought I could talk about my fall TBR. I did a little bit of research on what I want to read this fall to kind of get me in the mood. So the last thing I read, which I actually feel like was the perfect kind of last read of this summer, I finally read The Infinity Between Us. I loved that book, you guys. It was a romance, my first full, you know, romance book. It is based at the beach, so I feel like it's a good summer read if, you know, you're still kind of in that summer spirit and you want to get in one last book for the summer. This is a good one. It's like a beach romance. Two childhood friends haven't seen each other for 5 years, and they tell you that something bad happened, but you don't know what that bad thing is. And then they reunite 5 years later, and it's kind of them figuring out what happened and how they're going to move on from that. So it's a romance mixed with a little bit of mystery, I would say. Loved it. I think I gave it 4 stars. The only reason I didn't give it 5 stars is because I found myself getting a little bit frustrated with the main character. She just was one of those people who just couldn't let something go. And I was like, girl, it's time to move on, you know? Overall, really, really great story. So the first one on my TBR for fall is What Lies in the Woods. This is a thriller about 3 childhood friends who identified a serial killer after one of them was attacked in the woods. Something happens years later that kind of forces them to go back and figure out what really happened that summer. It says it's a mystery, psychological drama, and gives a hint of childhood magic. I believe someone said it was a little bit witchy, so I'm kind of excited about that. That is one of the thrillers on my TBR. Another kind of thriller, this one says it's a psychological horror, but it's We Used to Live Here. This is about a couple who buys a fixer-upper house and are visited by a strange family claiming to have lived there before. This haunted house vibes, like you move into a haunted house, is something that scares me a lot. I feel like houses are just scary and so creepy. So I'm excited to read this. I know it's like actually gonna scare me. So I guess this one's a little bit less thriller, maybe a little bit more horror. I believe they're turning this into a show or a movie, and I always love to read things like that I can know I'm gonna be able to watch later on. So excited about this one. We Used to Live Here. Next one is a historical fiction. This is Wayward. It tells an interconnected story of 3 women across 5 centuries. It says it's all connected by a deep, innate connection to nature and a refusal to be silenced by a patriarchal society. It says it looks at how women are viewed, treated, and lived at various points in history. I've heard the story is really good. It has really, really good reviews, so that's kind of why it piqued my interest. And you know, I love women. I love reading about some female resilience. The only romance that I have on my TBR is The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I don't know, it kind of makes me cringe, just the title, Pumpkin Spice Cafe, but it has pretty good reviews and it definitely went a little bit TikTok viral. It's a contemporary romance novel who follows someone who moves to the small town, runs her aunt's cafe, and finds herself drawn to the grumpy local farmer. I've just read that the fall vibes in this are really, really good. So I'm interested. I'm a little bit nervous. I don't love like cheesy things. I think it might be a little cheesy, but you know what? We'll have to read it. I shouldn't judge a book by its cover, and that is literally what I'm doing. So we'll see. It has pretty good reviews. I'm looking for fall vibes. I really enjoyed the last romance that I read, so maybe I'll enjoy this one. And the last thing on my TBR is a fantasy duology. It is the Shepherd King duology. The first one is called One Dark Window, and the second one is called Two Twisted Crows. It is a gothic fantasy with a lot of romance. It follows the main character who is on a quest to save the kingdom from dark magic. It's known for its eerie atmosphere, complex characters, and unique magic system. I've heard this is a kind of very dark magic kind of series. It's a gothic fantasy, so it makes sense. I feel like this would be perfect for spooky season. Almost all of those books that I just named are on Kindle Unlimited, which is great, except for the one that I really want to start with, which is We Used to Live Here, but I just got on the wait list for that one on my library. Since I've got 2 thrillers on my TBR, I'm gonna break them up. I'm gonna start with the thriller. So let's go with What Lies in the Woods. This will be my first book to get me into spooky season.